Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor and we have ourselves a Monday live stream. Let's get right into it. The market is moving, not to the upside though right now. Let's talk about what's happening. So, taking a look at things at large here. Let's just hop right into the Bitcoin price chart and go over a continuation of yesterday's live stream. So in yesterday's stream, we were looking at Bitcoin, and I put the short up here of looking for a swing failure pattern of this high right over here at $105,842 on the Bybit perps chart. Well, as you can see, we got the move, and initially we did SFP that high. We moved down a few $1,000s to 103K. And then we saw a huge bullish engulfing candle back up, followed by a major bearish engulfing candle back down. Regardless, if anybody took the short, congratulations on the win. Let's get some W's in the chat right now, guys. Put some W's in the chat right now for this short playing out. And also smash that like button as you guys are tuning into the stream today. But that is what is going on right now with BTC. This for sure is market manipulation, but welcome to crypto. Is this something new? No. I mean, this is the market. This is crypto. Manipulative moves like this happen on a very consistent basis. And a lot of people got destroyed by this price action here. Why do I say that? Well, look at this tweet from Watcher Guru. $675 million was liquidated from the cryptocurrency market in the past 24 hours. It's all of this, as well as altcoins, right? But, this move on Bitcoin really, it wrecked a lot of people. I guess people that weren't watching the Crypto Empire live stream, that is, right? But anyways, if you're on the wrong side of this, trying to trade this chop in and out, that's not the way to do it, right? Anyways, now we have the Monday range. And with our Monday range, it would make sense to, of course, sweep the lows. So we're going to find out now. Is this range going to hold at large, right? Because we have the previous week low as our range low down here at $100,688. We have our Monday low over here at $102,000 exactly. The move right now is to wait for a Monday range play. All right. Doing something here means that there's nothing to do right now, all right? So let's wait to see. Ideally, we take these lows over here at the previous week low. And if we're going to stay super bullish, if we're going to stay in an aggressive uptrend, and everyone who wants to buy a dip is going to get just shut out of the trend basically with no opportunity to get on board, we're going to see this range hold above 100K and likely go and make a new all-time high. That's the very bullish scenario. The bearish scenario is, of course, a further pullback into more upside continuation later. And again, with the Bitcoin Pizza Day this Thursday, May 22nd, as well as the Trump token holder dinner this Thursday, May 22nd, there's some big catalysts on the calendar this week. And like I was saying yesterday, if we do end up losing the range and coming down to one of these levels we have here on BTC, let me get my correct chart. Here we go. Right, if we lose the range and end up coming down to one of these levels, ideally the main one is over here at 95, the monthly open as well, into Pizza Day, into that Bitcoin Trump, into that Trump dinner, then we can likely see, a big move from there. But that's only if we sell off into Thursday. Overall, it's a wait and see market right now. I'm going to continue going over charts, but in this choppy range, right, unless you're short from higher like we outlined yesterday, there's just nothing to do right now on BTC. Your level is lower, again, 98 and 96 to 95 are the most relevant levels closest to the current market price. Have them marked on your own chart, so this way you're not doing anything blind and just guessing, but you actually have some kind of basis or idea going on. Moving on now. Most coins, everything is red. Everything is red right now. Let me pull up crypto bubbles. And looking at crypto bubbles, it's a sea of red out there, right? Altcoins getting smashed way more than Bitcoin at the current moment in time. So what is Tether dominance doing? What is USDT dominance doing? Well, it looks like, again, a local bottom has been put in, and we're going to see somewhat of a retracement, a continued retracement higher. This would be bearish for Bitcoin and altcoins. This would mean further downside. This is my main kind of thesis right now, my main outlook, my main bias, that we're going to see a further pullback. I would love to be wrong about that and we just blast off to new all-time highs on Bitcoin and, you know, altcoins go in tandem up with BTC, but that's less probability than seeing an actual continuation move lower before higher. So if we're going to go down, that means Tether dominance is going to go up. Levels to look for, right? We have this guy at 4.9%. And, you know, not necessarily as strong as the levels up here at around 5% to 5.1%. Your monthly open level as well, right? A lot of charts, if you look at a lot of altcoins, there's a lot of, you know, levels that stick out like a sore thumb all around their monthly opens, and we have Tether dominance with a level right at the monthly open as well. So again, if we do get some monthly open retests, that's going to be like the market handing you opportunity on a silver platter to either just take longs or add to existing spot positions if you'd like to do so, if you don't already, you know, feel comfortably positioned for more upside in the market, that is. But yeah, guys, we're looking for a retrace higher on USDT dominance. Again, 4.9%. It's less strong than the levels at 5% to the monthly open up here. And when we get up here, I mean, people are going to be scared. Coins are going to be down significantly, right? We're talking like 25, 30% dips, but that's again, an opportunity being handed on a silver platter, in my opinion, that is. Moving on, we still haven't seen the move yet, right? We haven't seen anything on Bitcoin yet. How do we know that? The Bitcoin Volatility Index tells us that. This thing's still sitting on support, not moving, not doing anything. Here's the 24-hour. On the 24-hour, it's actually starting to move up a bit, but still, it hasn't cleared any highs. It hasn't, you know, closed above any local highs. Right? This is still in this cluster. We haven't seen any big breakout on the B-vol yet. It's coming, right? A big move is coming. We know that, but it's not here yet. The B-vol won't tell you the direction of the move. It only tells you when volatility is going to happen. So when it's low volatility. When it starts to spike, volatility will start to spike up, meaning we're going to get a lot of action on BTC. Can be up, can be down. And again, we have our bias, or I have my bias at least, and that is likely going to see lower and then ideally a new all-time high. So when that starts to happen, we're going to see the B-vol start to spike, and that's when we know, yeah, this is like the real move happening. So far, that's not the case at all. It ain't happening yet. Anyways, let's keep moving. Keep moving and grooving on. Okay, so this is the total crypto market cap, the total. And you just want to use all these as confluence, all right? These are all added odds enhancers to any moves you're making. Anytime you put on risk, anytime you take a trade, long or short, you're putting on risk in the market. You never want to do that without confluence from the major total liquidity charts. So yeah, we got a dip down to 3.9 trillion. That looks like a very nice area for confluence for longs. Very nice. There's also a smaller level at 3.13. They're very close to each other. So yeah, I mean, the game plan right now is simple. Dip, buy it, pump. Pretty simple stuff. That's your total. And then altcoins total 2. For alts. So one thing to note here, back to the daily time frame. is we have the high over here from March, and this is when Trump announced the altcoin strategic reserve. Again, I started the stream talking about market manipulation. You guys remember what happened on March 2nd, that Sunday, when Trump announced that Bitcoin, or the altcoin strategic reserve, this pump and dump, right? These manipulative moves are nothing new. It should not shock anyone at this point. They happen on a routine basis. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. What are we looking for the total 2 right now? One thing to note, we have closed above the previous swing high from that altcoin strategic reserve announcement day when we pumped then dumped. We closed above it on the daily time frame, but the weekly time frame does tell a different story. The weekly time frame is a swing failure pattern. This is actually bearish. So daily bullish, weekly not so much. Not so much. So I mean, it's kind of a sign to proceed with a little bit of caution, but you're either risk on or you're not right now. Right? The market, especially recently, has not rewarded a half in, half out approach. It's like when you go to the ocean and you put your feet into the water and it's cold and then you run away or whatever. I don't do that, but some people watching this might do that. Instead of just going and just jumping in, right? The market is not rewarding people who are half in, half out. You're either bullish or you're not. And I think we're in a risk on, bullish environment, which is, again, why I'm saying I'm looking for a lower and then higher. So for the total 2, yes, the weekly is showing signs to be somewhat cautious with not closing above that previous swing high, but the daily has. So I'm going to keep a bullish bias. And with that, there is a level of interest over here, as you can see on the 6-day time frame, inside of this fair value gap. And this is at 1.9 trillion to 1.8 trillion dollars. As you can see, I put some dollar signs here as the label, because this is where the money is going to be made, at least on a short-term basis for trades. If anybody's a trader watching this, I assume many of you are. This level, again, more confluence for longs, more confluence to add to spot positions, whatever you want to do. Again, 1.9 to 1.8 trillion dollars. You see a dip into that. That's a level to look for your individual altcoins. Buy them, long them, whatever you want. That's my plan. If you guys want to tail my plan, that's it. I'm laying it out very clear for everyone. But that means further downside, so be prepared. We're talking $84 billion to be eliminated from the altcoin market. 80 billion. So it's going to mean altcoins drop like 20%, 30%. Just to make that very clear for everyone. And one more big chart is going to be Ethereum itself. So ETH on the daily, again, just like the total 2, closed above that previous swing high from March 2nd, the Trump altcoin announcement. The weekly, we had a big wick into this supply level. This is a weekly supply. Big wick into it, marked that local top. So just to recap what I was talking about yesterday on Ethereum, everyone wants this level at $2,000. Everyone has it on their chart. Everyone's looking at it. Everybody wants this 2K level. It's pretty obvious. It does stick out. And that would be like another silver platter opportunity handed to you, right? A spoon feed. If we get the 2K ETH, it's a very logical level to look for a bullish reversal higher. What if we don't get it? What if we don't dip that low? Well, there is the level at 2,200. We'll see what happens. We'll see how low we end up going here, or if there's the chance we don't go much lower at all, of course, if the really bullish scenario does play out. But we're looking at a potential 8% move lower to around 15 to 20% lower on ETH. And again, if we go back to the total 2, if we do end up coming down to 1.8 trillion, we may see ETH at one of these levels. That's confluence to, do whatever you want to do in terms of adding risk. But those are our major charts, guys, on a Monday morning. Your morning brief. Let's get into some news right now because there is a lot of news happening. First major piece of news that just came in a short while ago is Michael Saylor announcing MicroStrategy's latest Bitcoin acquisition. So he went ahead and acquired 7,390 Bitcoin for $764.9 million at an average price of $103,498. That's a lot of Bitcoin at a very high price. He paid a very large premium for these Bitcoin. Don't get that twisted. Saylor does not care about what price he buys at. He is buying an extreme premium. He bought $750 million at an extreme premium price of basically 103.5K. So he's currently holding $40 billion worth of Bitcoin, and his average price is $69,726. $40 billion at an average price of 69.7K. Now, Saylor's buys typically do mark a local top. That is a thing. If you guys have been following the market for a while, you already know Saylor's buys. It's a reason to proceed with somewhat of caution, okay? Because in the past, Michael Saylor buying has, indeed marked a local top. So that's one thing to note, and we'll see if we do get some moves lower here with that. Another thing to note, another piece of news, is the president of Argentina, Nayib Bukele. He is flexing the country of El Salvador's Bitcoin portfolio. So there's an age-old saying in the crypto market: if you take a screenshot of your profits, you should actually realize the profits and sell. Everyone's heard that before. Everyone's experienced it themselves, right? You take a screenshot of one of your altcoin positions or a trade you're in when you're up a futures position, you're up hundreds of % on your margin. You take a screenshot and you're like, look at me, guys, look at how much money I'm up right now. But you don't actually take any profit. And then it goes the other way and you're sat there looking like a fool. I'm sure many people can relate to that. I've been there too. I mean, it's just kind of it's part of the crypto journey, I guess you could say. But here we have the president of Argentina flexing his profits, taking screenshots, and I don't think he realized anything. So we'll see if irony plays out here. And, the traditional thing that happens after you take a screenshot of profits and then prices go down. We'll see if that ironic outcome does actually happen here. But as you can see, his current balance is $644 million for the country, and he has a total profit of $357 million at the current moment in time. Yeah, so he's flexing, and here's Big Ched's trading here. And just what I was saying, right? He says, when you're so excited about your trade that you take a screenshot to send to your buddy, that is probably when you should sell. Further reinforcing my point. Also, Michael Saylor had a lawsuit filed against him today. We can read that a class action lawsuit was filed against Michael Saylor's strategy, allegedly misleading statements about its Bitcoin strategy. So Saylor getting sued after he put up a $760 million buy order at 103.5K. A lot of things are stacking together right now that kind of look like a lot of bearish kind of news, I guess. But some people might interpret Saylor buying and the president of Argentina flexing his gains as bullish. But if you know, you know. It's actually bearish. And one more piece of news from just 30 minutes ago. China is warning of retaliation if the U.S. goes its own way. It's a very vague statement. If the U.S. goes its own way. I mean, obviously this has to do with the trade war. Remember the tariffs? It was a 90-day pause. They were not eliminated. They were not taken off. They're just paused. So China's basically saying, look, if the U.S. doesn't want to cooperate, they're going to retaliate. And when these geopolitical tensions rise, the market does get spooked. So something to note. Something to note. And if this ends up causing a dump before pizza day and before the Trump dinner, we want to get we want to be bullish. But as of right now, it's still a waiting game to see. If these lows hold, these local lows at 100K end up holding, if the Monday range, the Monday low ends up holding, etc., etc. So far, we're in the Monday range, and there's really nothing, no move to make. Again, for everyone just joining in later, if you're just joining in now to the live stream, the short we outlined on yesterday's live stream did end up playing out beautifully. But right now, it's a no trade zone unless you're already short. There's for sure people trying longs down here at these lows, right, to try and catch the move to the new all-time high. And you can certainly do that. I wouldn't enter here. You would have had to enter lower, in the 102K levels. Tight stop below the previous week low. People are definitely trying to catch a long to the all-time high right now. We'll see if they're right or if I'm going to be right and we actually see a move down to 95K or not. But yeah, this short was money. A 3K move, $3,500 move on Bitcoin. We take those all day long. Anyways, that's our news for the day. Let's see what's happening in our live chat. Shout out to Abdul. He says the market looks doomed. I wouldn't say it looks doomed, but there's definitely a lot of interesting things going on right now. Shout out to Armzilla. Big shout out to Richard Cully. He asked if I only had 1,000, what would I put it into? I'm not going to answer that question right now, man. Shout out to Guts Motors. And Richard asked about Tron Bull. Any thoughts? Isn't that Crash's coin on Tron? Look, I would stay far away personally, but that's just me. All right, Crash he's all in on Brett. The chart doesn't look bad, right? You might see a time where this thing pumps off the bottom, but I don't know. I would go small, if anything, into this coin, and I would look at it as a total gamble type of play. But you are buying in what looks like a major accumulation lake. It looks like a higher time frame bottom. Shout out to Semi187 as well as HeckDZL. What's going on, guys? And Narala. We got Eric Royston and Green Chili Pepper. AK says he's long right now. Long Bitcoin, long an altcoin. What are you long, AK? Shout out to FBS. He's happy about the stream timing. And we got Georgios. He says he longs Sui at the bottom. This is my strategy, longing on dips with small leverage on quality altcoins, taking profit. I like that strategy. Look, trading, it's literally just being able to manage risk. All right, so if you can find a strategy that enables you to manage risk on a consistent basis, you're going to have success in the long run. It's just when you start deviating from your trading plan and you start making erratic decisions, emotional decisions, that you end up going down a downward spiral. As long as you stick to your trading plan and you manage your risk, you will be able to survive and stay in the game. And if you can just stay in the game and get the experience, you need to journal. You need to take this shit really seriously. People think they can just start trading and they're just oh yeah, just do this, no, this is a real money. There's trillions of dollars in this market. You're going against this is the most competitive industry in the entire world. There's algorithms, there's AI, there's whatever in this market, trading, trying to take your money. So anyways, keep that in mind if you're newer to trading and you're on your journey right now. You need to take it very, very seriously. But here's Sui. Yeah, it makes sense, right? You swept the previous week low and a bit of a bounce right now. Your daily 200 EMA down here at $3.11. Yeah, we like the monthly open. We do like that monthly open. It just front ran the monthly open, but you know, it will get hit if we see further downside on Bitcoin, ETH, further upside on USDT dominance. And that's at $3.50. And then this level over here at 338 down to 320 is the next one. Let me move these labels so they're in the correct zones. We'll look at a lot of altcoins in just a moment. Give me the Chapula says thoughts on treble. Same thoughts I've always had. I mean, I'm bullish on treble swap. I think it's a great proxy to have on base, beta to Ethereum. And I put this level on today. It's at 27 cents. At this point, I can see it's dropping to 27 cents, and I look for a bottom to form there. But again, I think this is like going to give multiples, not financial advice, but I see treble as a pretty comfy hold. I'm really actually not worried about it whatsoever. I'm just going to let it play out. Shout out to Adrian Kent as well as HD. What is going on, HD? Eric says, which version of TradingView do I use? I have the premium one. You don't have to buy the premium one. You should wait for Black Friday if you want to buy the premium one because you get a really good price for it. It's like $600 a year if you don't get the Black Friday sale, and it's like $200 if you get the Black Friday sale. But you don't need the premium to start. Just get like the basic version. You can use the free TradingView version to start and then upgrade to like, what is it, $10 a month or something for the basic one. That's really all most people need. But if you really want to get into it, you know, and have max indicators and be able to put like 8 charts up on your screen or 16 charts, whatever, you're going to want to get the premium. I guess you can do max 8 with what I have. The enterprise plan allows you to get 16, but that's just completely unnecessary, in my opinion. Shout out to Benjamin H. as well as Rinum. What's up, Rinum? Asking about TAI. 7 cents, 7.2 cents, and 5.3 cents are your levels for TAI. Closest to the current market price. Now, anyways, some of these coins right now, they're in levels. They're in levels of interest. Right, here's Link coming very close. Didn't quite hit $14.66. As you can see, just like Sui, it swept the previous week low, and we're seeing a reaction from it. However, we have the Fresh Monday range now. And our Fresh Monday range, I mean, this is like perfect. Where is it? Here it is. It's back on the chart. This is perfect, right? Anybody looking to play our Monday range, we sweep that Monday low and we come into the 2-day order block, 2-day demand. It's a long, very close. A lot of setups are very close right now. We did just get a super chat from Bob's My Uncle. What is going on, Bob? Good to see you. He says, hola, my man. Can you check my go-to base boys, OKEG, as well as Barrio, please? I really believe in these two to get to 50 million market cap. I love the belief, Bob. I love it. Let's take a look at them. And by the way, thank you for the super chat. Guys, be sure to smash up the like button if you're just tuning into the live stream right now. Smash it up. So, OKEG here. We are looking at the market cap and not the price, but it's the same chart. So, the weekly time frame By the way, this is a $2.8 million, $2.9 million market cap coin. So again, you got to take TA with a grain of salt on such a low market cap coin. One big buy order, one big sell order can really move the price and can completely invalidate any TA. But anyways, we're going to analyze it anyway. So your weekly yet to close above the previous swing high just yet. Now, Bob, I assume you're already positioned in these things and you're not looking to buy anymore. But if you were, the $2.5 million market cap level would be something, a place to look for, an entry. Or the $1.4 million market cap level as well would be a spot. Now, something like this, these coins, they thrive in risk-on conditions. They thrive when liquidity is flowing in the market, right? When liquidity flows into altcoins. And that means, of course, stablecoin dominance going down, right? USDT, USDC dominance going down. They need that to pump. Meme coins, low caps on chain, they don't pump if liquidity is not flowing in. All right. So right now, being that we're looking for these, stablecoin dominance charts to go up first, more likely than not, these low caps, they're not going to pump yet. They'll pump when the stablecoin dominance charts go down, right? So yeah, don't be surprised if they retrace to 2.5 mil or 1.4 mil, and you're looking for the breakout above 4 million market cap and a big pump. So you say 50 million market cap. It's very possible. It's very doable, being that it's at 3 million now. In a risk-on market, I can see it happening, but I mean, that we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As of now, it's just a waiting game for liquidity to go into your low caps. So that is OKEG. Possible retracement to these levels before higher, and then Barrio. Barrio looks better, it's stronger, it's closing above previous swing highs. So this is for sure like a buy the dip looking coin, given that it's 1.4, 1.5 million market cap. Like, it's such a small project, but it does have a lot of history now, right? It's been around for almost a full year from September of 2024 or yeah, that's a lot of time. What is that, like 9 months or something? Potential levels of retracement, daily demand at a 1 million to 1.3 million market cap before ideally resuming the uptrend. And the all-time high is 7 million market cap. That's peanuts. So yeah, I mean, again, in a risk-on environment, this will thrive as long as there's just not huge net selling. Curious. Let's check it out. I mean, it looks pretty good, right? If you look at the top traders, for example, if you look at one of these new scam coins on Solana, such as like Launchcoin, like one of the new scams, and you go to the top traders, right? This is what like this is the game that the cabal is playing now, right? They launch these memes on Solana and they just siphon hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars out. As you can see, the number one trader, he knew to buy $1 million of the coin and he made $839K. The number two trader bought $8 million and he sold 8.8 He made 750K off an $8 million buy. Who buys $8 million of something that's just launched, some random scam on Solana? Only someone who knows something. So if we compare something like this to Barrio, it's obvious that Barrio is very different in that regard. Way more organic, way more real. And you don't have the cabal basically just siphoning. Max extraction is their game. They literally just max extract. And for some reason, people keep on like trying to buy their coins and to try and hit some kind of lottery win. Again, most people in the crypto market are insane. By definition, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Most people continue to listen to the Ansems and the GGs and the whoever else on crypto Twitter, and they just keep on getting led to the slaughterhouse. But yeah, anyways, back to the subject at hand here. Potential 1 million market cap dip. That's a 50% dip. It's pretty steep. And then, you want to see big expansion, but you won't see the big expansion until you see liquidity flow to the low caps. And that means, USDT dominance going down. That means total 2 going up. And it looks like lower before higher right now. So that's what I'm seeing on these coins, Bob. I do appreciate the super chat, my man. Always good to see you in the live chat, and I hope that helps. Alrighty, lads. So Mana went ahead and it tested the monthly open and a level today. Similar to Sui, similar to Link and a lot of the other coins we looked at. It swept last week's low, and we have a slight reaction so far. Decentraland Mana, it did have bullish divergence here. But I didn't take this trade. Because why didn't I take this trade? There's no confluence from majors. Right? I'm personally waiting for something more right now. But this could be it, guys. I mean, if we're going to stay in a very aggressive uptrend here on Bitcoin, then this could be the low. Although probability speaking, I don't think it will be. I do not think it will be. The Zuko, he says... Shout out to John Valentine. And the Zuko says, can you check ETH? My entry's at 1,700. He says, hold or take profit. I would hold it personally and trail the stop loss. That's a good entry at 1,700. It's not the best, but it's a good one. All right, so if you're in from down here at these prices, 1,700. Well, I would probably put the stop around the monthly open levels. And there's a very good chance ETH does not come down to 1,700 again. So I think that's something you should hold. Of course, it depends on your trading plan personally. I just talked about the trading plan earlier, how very important it is to have. I mean, this is a question that you should already know the answer to. You shouldn't have to ask me if you should close a trade or hold a trade. I understand getting a second opinion. That's perfectly fine. I respect that. But, ideally you already know what you're going to do. And you're just asking me for some kind of confirmation bias or something. I'm going to assume that you want to hold it. because look, we're in crypto. People like making money and people are always greedy and they want more upside. But in this case, it makes sense to hold it, in my opinion. Here's Tau. So Tau came into our first level at 395. And I am still looking for the 350 level. Again, the monthly open retest, it would be beautiful. It may be too good to ask for in the sense that we don't get it, because it would be like too good to be true. But yeah, we'd like to see Tau down here in the 350s before it goes on to make a new all-time high. Some other coins. Say similar to Mana Decentraland, it's right on the monthly open right now. So, I mean, this is kind of at the level, but personally don't trust it. That's just me, though. ZK Sync, as you guys know, I am bullish on ZK Sync. I think it's going to do really well. Not 100x, but you know, it's a safe proxy to Ethereum, where you know Ethereum is going to go up, say 2-3x. Something like ZK Sync is going to double that. It's going to go up, you know, 4 or 5x at least, I would say, potentially much more. But anyways, what's happened here on ZK Sync is we were in this downward sloping parallel channel. We had a very aggressive breakout of that channel. We closed not yet above the previous swing high up here, but we're getting there. Main thing is the channel breakout and the retest that's currently in play. So are we going to be able to hold on to this channel high and hold it as support? Is price going to continue to respect this 6.5 cent level and it holds as support and we continue further to the upside? Or are we going to see a lower retracement? Again, here's a fair value gap. Let's put the fair value gap on the screen, daily time frame. And you have all of this with the monthly open in the fair value gap. And you also have the fib from the high to the low. You have the golden pocket right in the level. So yeah, you could buy it here if you want to. I don't recommend that, just to make that clear. But you know, you could do it up here, but it would make much more sense to just be patient and wait for price to come to the level that you actually want to be a buyer at in demand. Pay the price you want to pay for the asset. And that's at 5.96 cents basically on ZK Sync. And your monthly open is 5.7 cents. So this is the level. This is the level to look for. Apu the Friendly Frog. So if you guys watch the streams, you know I bought down here around 14 cents, $40 million market cap. We saw the move up to 33 cents. So, you know, we basically caught a 170% move. And targets for Apu are hundreds of millions to a potential $1 billion market cap. So this is a position, a spot position that I will be holding basically until it does like many multiples higher. Spot positions like this, any entries taken in April, right? Like over here, Yeah, you could take risk off the table for sure. You could. But if we're actually entering into like a big expansion period here, out of this long accumulation, there's a lot more money to be made on the table. Like I was saying before, most people in crypto are greedy. They want more upside. Look, I'm not going to pretend I'm a saint. I'm in this to make money as well. I'm a trader. I'm an investor. I play the markets just like everyone else. And I ain't selling here. That's a fool's errand in my opinion. We're waiting for way higher. That's the game, folks. Take the risk or lose the chance. And you got to be okay with the outcome. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes you learn. That's life. Let's see. Andrew Pfeiffer. The market is being manipulated by whales that can move the price. Based on the futures market, it benefits the exchanges and the whale. Who knows? Maybe the exchanges are in contact with the whales. Well, Andrew, the exchanges run the show here in the crypto market. The exchanges are not all of the whales, but they are very much, major market makers. They make the market. So, yeah, you're on the right track, man. You're on the right track. You're starting to understand, as Morpheus would say from the Matrix. We got Vikey Odin. He says, I don't know if people recognize how much valuable information this guy is giving that many others are charging big bucks for. Appreciate this man's work. Yeah, most guys don't understand, but I'm glad that you do. We got a super chat right now from Charge It to the Game with a $1.99 super chat. He says, what's up, Connor? I was going to say, if you like Apu, take a look at Swag. Very similar chart and under 3 mil market cap. I appreciate that super chat, dude. Yeah, I think either you or somebody else has asked me about this. It's not really that similar to Apu. Like, this isn't really too similar. I'm not sure what the theme is with that. But I would say Swag is a gamble. So, doesn't look bad. Like every other micro cap out there. They all look bottomed out after long accumulation periods. Might do well, might not. Hard to say. And let's see. Vikey says, thoughts on switching from desync to TAI? It's not a horrible thing to do, being that you're going from one AI coin to the other. But, that's a decision that you need to make on your own. The TAI market cap is lower than Desync's by like a third. They're both in the AI niche. Desync is Alex Becker's coin. TAI is doing a massive marketing campaign, and they've basically decided to work with every single person that makes any type of crypto content just to get massive exposure to the entire market. Yeah, I mean, look, they'll probably both go up, but TAI lower market cap. It's hard to say, man. That's a decision you need to make on your own. But you are going from one AA coin to another. So it's not a bad switch. If you're going from an AI coin to like a DeFi coin, I would say that's stupid. But because it's AI to AI, it makes sense. Crypto Hunt. Is it a good move to sell bonk and whiff and accumulate Toshi? Depends what your goals are. For meme coins, Bonk, Whiff, Toshi, you know, they're big meme coins. Like they're billions of dollars of market cap or hundreds of millions. If you want base exposure, yeah, switch to Toshi. If you want to keep Solana exposure, then stay on Bonk and Whiff. Totally depends on what you want. You gotta do what you want to do. You gotta stay on your path. It needs to come from your mind, your subconscious. If you just follow other people, it leads to bad things. It's your life. On that note, everyone, we're going to wrap up the live stream right now. Just a little bit of a briefing. I'm going to go live very often. Sunday live streams are the community live stream day. That's when I will get to like all the comments, spend most of my time going over the chat, going over your guys' requests. During the week, we're going to do more rapid fire analysis, getting straight to the point, not really wasting too much time with fluff or anything like that. All right. But again, Sunday is the community live stream day. Any other day is going to be more of, just straight to the point, analysis, things like that. So if you guys like that and you're not subscribed, stick around, hit the subscribe button down below. And with that being said, you guys have a great rest of your day. And be on the lookout to see if the levels do get hit on the total liquidity charts to provide us with some, clean cut entries. Basically, we've planned for them. We've made the plans. We have the strategy. All we need to do now is let the market come to us. You can rush in and you can go try and force your will on the market, but that never works. At least not long term. You might get away with it once or twice, but it will eventually blow up in your face. It's not sustainable. You want to do things that are sustainable in life. If you go for short term, quick cash, it will always come back to bite you in the ass. Business, trading, investing, whatever it is, if you go for the quick money, it will blow up in your face every single time. All right? So remember, think long term, think sustainability. And on that note, my name is Connor from Crypto Empire, signing out. Have a great rest of your day.